Okay, we're in the big game booth. Horse, what are you gonna be doing here right now? What's this all booth about?
Actually, what I'm trying to do with this machine is I'm trying to show people how they're tying their knots when they're on the bike. I know you see a lot of guys out there that are tying their knots and they're taking 40, 45 minutes when they see these machines with the readouts on them. And I'm trying to encourage people to come up and tie their knots as if they just caught a fish, they're foaming on the corner, the deckhand just kicked your hook off, you're sitting there, you're shaking, you're trying to get your hook on. We've all done it, we're shaking, we're trying to get the hook on. That's the knot I want you to tie, so because that's the one you're using.
Right.
That 40-minute macrame knot is not the one you're sitting there, okay, we just kicked a fish, okay, let me just sit down and tie my knot, I'll have a cocktail. That's not what you're doing. You're running, you're sweating, you're shaking. Then we can see how we can make it better. If there's a way to make it better, or if the knot's working for you, then that's great, you know. And
that's what this machine's gonna do, it's gonna actually tell you where it breaks at?
Right, we're watching it. The beauty of these machines, we can watch the knots as they cinch. You know, we can take it slow, we can watch them cinch, we can watch where it's creating heat. Mono, unfortunately, it's a great product, but heat is just the biggest, it's the #1 killer of any knot.
Okay.
Is the heat and the friction of sliding it up and when the knot's cinching on itself. So obviously the saliva or the spit, some kind of moisture, lubrication is very important when it's happening. So that's what I see a lot of guys do when they tie it, is they do that, right? And then they do that.
With no
what
moisture?
did I just do? I just created friction all of it. I mean, you can actually feel where I burned, if you can feel, run your fingers on it, you can feel where I burned the mono by doing that. You feel that in there? Now you've killed the knot right now. You killed your line. Now your line's weak back here. You know, and everybody wants to blame it on the mono. It's the heat, the friction. By using this machine, it's been a lot of fun because I've gotten to watch all the different things that kill the knots. The less this moves, see, I didn't get it quite tight enough. You want to keep that from moving. Now watch this right here.
What'd you get? 30?
Have you guys ever seen that right there? See how that's rolled over like that? And you go, my line broke. Well, it broke inside the knot. That's from it cinching up inside of itself. But the beauty of most of the models, especially the big game, is this stuff has, they put the fudge factor in your knots for you. You're using 30-pound test. I tied a knot that obviously wasn't satisfactory, but it broke at 33.8 pounds.
That's
so
over the
I'm fishing 30-pound test. I'm fishing at like 30-pound test. I've got 10 pounds of drag, and my weak knot broke at 33.8. So they've helped you out a lot with your knots. So that's the best part about it.
You know, one thing I see a lot on the party boats is people just don't change their line.
That's the biggest issue.
Keep the line out there way too long.
The biggest issue, I mean, this is the cheapest part of fishing.
Yeah.
This costs less than the gas it costs to put in your car to drive down here to get on the boat.
Yeah. They don't mind spending thousands of dollars to go on a long range trip,
and they
but
got
not another spool of line.
And a full rack of gold. They got a full rack of gold on the boat.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I mean, come on, 40 bucks? And how many are you going to spool with this? I mean, especially with the Spectra now that we have.
Right.
I mean, you're just buying 100 yards of line at a time. It's ridiculous how to change. It's so easy. It's so easy.
Thanks a lot, Horace.
Thank you, Dan.